Taoiseach, it's the last week of the Dáil before the summer recess. When we return, the schools will already have started. The Minister for Education previously said, "It is my intention that every child needing special education will have a place come September." My question is very simple, Taoiseach. Will that commitment be met, or will children be left without appropriate school places? Over the course of the last year, parents of children with additional needs have done incredible campaigning work. Mothers like those from the Equality in Education campaign who are in the gallery have organised public meetings across the country. They've slept out twice outside the Dáil and outside the Department of Education. They organised an impressive march a few weeks ago. And they put this issue, the incredible injustice of children having their basic right to an education denied, front and centre. Their core ask is very simple: that every child has an appropriate school place in their local community, that children are not left at home without a school place, that parents are not pressurised into taking an inappropriate mainstream place where their children will not be supported, that children aren't ferried across their county or out of their county on a daily basis. We know that 3,275 children with additional needs were notified to the NCSE, and the Minister has said that 92% of those have an offer of a school place or a pathway to a school place. That means that 260 children were without any offer. But that 260 is only the tip of the iceberg, because many of the 3,000 or so that do have offers don't actually have school places in September. They have a pathway to a school place. In many places, a pathway to a classroom that does not yet exist. Teddy will be 5 years and 9 months in September. After much struggle, his mother, Adrienne, got a call from the school secretary 2 weeks ago from St. Canice's in Finglas and was offered a place. She was told that the place is subject to build. She asked for a timeline of the availability of the place and was told that they are in discussions. She's not holding her breath for it to be in place much before Christmas. Lucy, who was 5, was offered a place, but her mother, who's in the gallery, was told it won't be available until November. How many of those 3,000 will not have a place in September, Taoiseach? And how long will they have to wait? How have the classrooms not been put in place? How many will have to travel outside their local area? And will all those 3,000 get the appropriate supports they need? Some of them have been allocated places by the NCSE, instructing schools to expand special classes. They're being promised then that additional SNA supports will come in. But will they? The additional 1,600 SNAs announced by the government have already been allocated, and you are operating an irrational cap on SNA posts. But to go back to the 260, are they going to get school place offers, or will they be forced to turn up outside the school before we are back, outside the Dáil before we are back?
Could I first of all maybe at the outset welcome James Maloney, who's in the gallery today with his wife Deirdre. James is elected member of the Parliament of Canada and is affectionately known there as the Minister for Ireland. I had the pleasure of meeting with him when I was last in Canada, and I hope he enjoys his visit to the Oireachtas and his visit to Ireland, because he's been a great friend to Ireland in Canada.
Thank you.
Could I first of all say to Deputy Murphy that every child is entitled to and has a constitutional right to an education, and it's our job as government to vindicate that right, especially for children with additional education needs. And schools and parents consistently highlight the value of special schools and classes, especially where there are challenges otherwise in the system in the provision of a broader range of disability supports. So this is a very key priority of government. I've established a Cabinet subcommittee on disability more generally, and I've established a disability unit within my own department to drive change and transformation in respect of all aspects of disability in Irish society. More specifically, in terms of special education, about 407 special classes are being created this year, with close to, I think, 2,700 new special education placements for the 25-26 school year. And an additional 1,200 places are available due to student movement, bringing the total available places to close to 4,000. for about 3,275 students seeking them. So then the key issue will be in terms of geography and in terms of making sure that children has access to schools close to them. And that is an important consideration. Minister Michael Moynihan, Minister Helen McEntee have both been working extremely hard on this question. We've also, as you know, established and are close to establishing an in-school therapy service, beginning with the special schools in the country to provide in-school therapists for children in special schools, and then we'll expand it to the entirety of special schools and then to mainstream education after that. Huge effort has been made to get places in position by September, working with the National Council for Special Education, who then work and liaise with schools. Some of the new special schools, we have 5 new special schools being established. Some will not be entirely ready by September, although temporary schools or temporary alternatives are being provided in respect of those where building works are being carried out. For next year then, the year after, we're looking at bringing forward the application dates.
Thank you, Taoiseach.
To make sure that there's better identification of the need earlier to plan for the subsequent year, and there's a pilot programme as well underway in respect of a common application system that would begin to ease the burden for parents.
Thanks. I mean, I appreciate that huge efforts have been made by those in the NCSE, people working in schools, above all by their parents. But it's not acceptable, Taoiseach. This is the last leader's question you're going to face. And you cannot now back up the commitment by your Minister for Education that every child needing special education will have a place come September. You're sending out the message that we've made a huge effort, but unfortunately some number of children are going to get left behind. I mean, you mentioned there that in terms of those who have been offered school places perhaps in October or November or December, that temporary solutions will be put in place. You might expand on that, because none of the parents know about these temporary you might expand on that, because the parents that I'm talking to have to leave their kids in preschool if the preschool will allow them to do that. In some cases, that's going to be a real problem. In another case, they're going to have to stay at home, not do college courses they were planning to do, in order to mind their children. But can you tell us how many children are going to be left without appropriate school places?
No.
Is the figure still 260 who no offer have been made to? That is simply not acceptable.
The Taoiseach will now respond.
No, first of all, it's Carricknabar and Cork. There's alterations being made to an older school building there to facilitate a new special school. In the interim, the Gaelscoil, which is no longer in use, is being used as an alternative location until the building is complete, but it will be completed before the end of the year, is my understanding. That's when I referred, because there's 5 new special schools being established. It's our aim that no child will be without an appropriate place by September. That's what we want to do. And we're going to work might and main to make sure that that becomes the reality. And we will work with parents, we will work with schools and the NCSE to attend to those children who yet don't have definite clarity in terms of a school place. We want every child to have a school place by September. Minister Moynihan met recently with parents and advocates from the Equality in Education campaign alongside with the NCSE to address a number of key issues. I understand parents have been kept updated on available places for the year ahead, and the whole objective is to help them secure the right placement for their child as quickly as possible.
Thank you, Taoiseach.